I kind of thought this was funny because the way that there was a little bit of backlash last time Microsoft did this, and so you kind of really thought maybe they learned their lesson, or maybe they would actually do something to make people think that they want to sell their consoles. But lately, it seems like they're taking the opposite route and doing everything in their power to get people to dismiss the consoles. Again, I don't understand the thought process. To me, it makes much more sense to have, a console with a store where people buy their games and things like that. I don't ever see a world where people are willing to spend $70 plus, maybe up to $100 for an individual game to be able to stream it on something. And like for me, I don't mind like I don't care about cloud gaming as a whole, but I don't mind it as an option. Keep it there, or whatever. But it's like Sony does this too, but they don't go, well, throw away your PlayStation. You don't need it. It's obsolete way to play a game. You know what I mean? They don't do that, and it seems like Microsoft does that with their cloud gaming. So I thought this was super interesting. They had this new advertisement, which, by the way, they've advertised now more that you don't need an Xbox than they've actually advertised for your Xbox. Think about that, and then think about what direction they're going in. So they released a new advert highlighting the ability to play Xbox games without a console. So while it has been possible, and this is what I've said for a while now, while it's been possible to play Xbox games via the cloud on PC, mobile, and some smart TVs and VR headsets for some time, support for the feature was this week extended to some Amazon Fire and TV Stick devices, the 4K ones anyway. To do so, players must install the launch an Xbox app from the Fire device, sign in with an Xbox account, sign up for Game Pass Ultimate if they haven't already, and connect a controller to play. A new advert promoting the launch of the Xbox app on Amazon devices, which takes the form of a parody from Scream, is titled No Xbox, Have No Fear with Amazon Fire TV Stick. It hammers home the point that you can play Xbox games without a console. Xbox partnered with Samsung to bring Xbox Cloud Gaming to the electronic company's TVs in 2022, and Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer previously hinted at plans to bundle Game Pass with TV streaming sticks. He said, the cloud will allow us to completely remove the barriers to play worldwide. This was back in 2021. Of course, there's still a place for consoles and PCs, and frankly, there always will be, but through the cloud, we will be able to deliver a robust gaming experience to anyone connected to the internet, even on the least powerful, least expensive devices people already own. And with the cloud, gaming players can participate fully in the same Xbox experience as people on local hardware. We couldn't do that if we weren't part of Microsoft. So, a recently unearthed patent seemingly provided the first look at Microsoft's own shelved streaming device. First announced in 2021, codenamed Keystone, it was designed to let players stream, Xbox games to TVs or monitors without the need for a console. However, Xbox deprioritized work on it after failing to produce it cheaply enough and to be able to sell it at the desired price, which Spencer said was $99 to $129 range. So obviously, here we go. What has Microsoft, and I know, listen, there's a lot of haters, people dislike me, whatever, but look at the facts here. Microsoft are running adverts that you don't need an Xbox. They raise Game Pass prices hugely for console gamers only, while PC players are paying $8 less and get all the same day one games and all that stuff. So again, where is the kind of contrast there? I think that's the main problem that a lot of people are having, myself included. It just doesn't seem like they care about their console anymore. And I know people go, oh well, they already announced that they're going to do more hardware. You know what? They also announced that they were going to do more phones, and new Zunes were on the way, and they hired Ninja and a bunch of other streamers because Mixer was going to be the next best thing, and then they shut it down 3 weeks later. So announcing and saying you're going to have more hardware doesn't necessarily make it so. And when you look at this, again, it just seems like to scream to the point that you are not actually going to be able to do the stuff that you want. It's it's not a great thing. Like if you're gonna do something, then do it. But it's like when the rumors came out about Game Pass, they're gonna have different tiers, a separate tier if you're gonna get Call of Duty because they can't afford to do it. We all knew that, right? We all knew that was coming, but people said, "Oh, it's just these people, they're lying, etc., etc." Insiders, they don't know anything, and then here we are, right? You know what I mean? And so now you see people saying, okay, well, the constant kind of tweaking of Game Pass is exhausting, and that's true. So, and I did a previous video about that, but it's like, when you keep seeing this kind of stuff happen over and over again, you sort of start to question it a little bit, and for me personally, keep seeing reasons why not owning an Xbox is good, and people are cheering this stuff on. It's, unfortunate, how this kind of works. It's honestly terrible. Like I'll never be a PC gamer. I'm never, that's not my thing. I don't want to play on a PC. I don't want to play with PC gamers. I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but it's just the God's honest truth. I don't want to do that. If I wanted to do that, I would have done it. You know what I mean? Consider it's not a price thing. I could afford a great PC if I wanted to. The problem is I don't want to play PC games. I don't want to do that. So when we kind of look at how things are right now, I've always loved consoles. I've always preferred consoles, and so that's how I want to play games. Now, when it comes down to it, some people are going to probably agree with me and some people aren't. I just don't see why Microsoft can't come up with a clear idea of what to do. That's, I think, been the main problem, is not so much that they're doing all these weird things or whatever. It's the fact that they really never come up with things to do and stick to it. They aren't sticking to what needs to be done. It's like if you want to do something, then do it. But Game Pass, obviously, they just changed it around last year. Just got a price increase last year, but it is a little bit exhausting. I think that it's kind of crazy what is happening with Microsoft, what they do to confuse people, and what they do to kind of get people to, I guess, maybe turn against them. I've never, they should have, this year should have been their year, right? I mean, yeah, the first part of the year was lackluster, but Sony is really struggling. And then you see, traditionally, Sony games would get, a ton of love from people, and stuff like Concord's getting torn apart by, critics and fans and gamers. And so when we look at this, I'm kind of sitting there and thinking to myself, man, this is crazy. Microsoft should have been taking advantage of this, and yet they're not, and that's the really, really sad part, of this entire thing, and I think the other sad part is, like, and I don't know if I've ever been like this, just like where you accept everything, because I really thought that Microsoft was doing stuff to, I really thought they were bettering themselves. I thought they were preparing themselves for, for different things or whatever. And now it's like, it's not like that at all anymore. It's like this unfortunate situation where, they weren't anymore. It's like they don't care about their console, and that's become abundantly clear. And I hope that changes, but I sincerely doubt it. It seems like they're kind of preparing people. You guys remember what they did with Xbox Live Gold, right? So if you didn't know, Gold was sort of like what PlayStation Plus was. You pay to play online, and you got some free games each month. Once Game Pass became a thing, the Gold games became worse and worse, and they made it so bad to where people called for them to actually stop the program. I never did that, because I always thought, even though the games weren't great, they were usually like some indie games or whatever that you wouldn't have bought or whatever. So it was cool. Like, why would you not want free, these free games or whatever that's included with your subscription? But people, they made it so bad that people were like, stop doing it. And so they did, and there was no outcry. I think they're making that proposition for Xbox so bad that when they stop it, there's not going to be an outcry. I don't know how that's going to work. It seems like you still have 20 million people on an Xbox, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? Let me know down below. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. I'm Crap Gamer. I will link this stuff in the description. If you're mad, then be mad. There's nothing wrong with that. These corporations don't care about us. Rack them up.